What productivity YouTubers don't want you to know is that maybe, just maybe, you don't have to be productive all the time. Maybe you don't have to find value in being productive. Hey creators, Aimon here, and this is where I help you master your creative mindset. Let's get into it. So when I was much younger, I had this relentless ambition and I wanted to be so many different things, and there was nothing that was going to stop me. And I still have that, relentless ambition within me today, and it's gotten me to a lot of places, which is great. But within the last year or two, I've been really appreciating slowing down in life and, appreciating just being. And, I was always about just produce, create, because that's where you are going to find value in your life, is by creating something of value for other people, right? But recently I've just been slowing down and really finding value in just enjoying the actual moment, enjoying a deep conversation with another person, not producing anything of value, enjoying just sitting back, watching a TV show, really simple things. And at the start, I thought it was just this whole pandemic thing, I was taking a break from being crazy productive all the time, and that's okay, forgive yourself. But as I did it a little more, I found more value in actually just being. And this led me to start questioning, why is it that I'm actually trying to produce something all of the time, for somebody else, or so that I can become something? Why is it that I'm spending all my time trying to produce and create rather than just be? And so since then, I've gone through this big battle with myself where, originally I found all of my value, all of my personal, my self-worth in creating, right? And don't get me wrong, I feel very fulfilled when I create things. That's why I do create things, right? And I create with a purpose so that I can create something that I can look back on, art that I'm proud of that may have an impact on other people. But before it was a little bit more relentless and I was just, creating nonstop without question. And so through this whole battle with myself, it's caused me to question all of this a little bit deeper. And what I realized was that, partly why I was in this mindset of create something of value all of the time for somebody else was because that's how we're conditioned from when we're little kids, All of school teaches you this, all of our society, all of capitalism teaches you this, and it's because it works in this current society. You create something of value for somebody else, you get money in return, money allows you to get more resources for yourself, and then you move up in the world. That's capitalism, you know what I mean? And that's okay if that's what you want to do, right? But as long as you realize the why for why you're actually in this mode of create all the time, and I always felt guilty for why I wasn't actually creating. Oh, God forbid I have a night off and just watch TV with a friend or something like that. Then the next day you wake up and you're in this cycle of, oh my God, I didn't make anything yesterday, so I have to make double today, and there's this pressure on yourself, And so through this last year, when I've had, a lot of dips in not making things, and then I come back and I do make things, and this whole questioning of why I'm actually creating something, it's allowed me to actually appreciate more of a balance between just being and just doing. For example, I get up and I sit down and I drink my coffee in the morning, and, instead of scrolling through Reddit while listening to a podcast, on 10 times speed or something so I can be ultra productive, some mornings I just sit and drink my coffee and, eat my breakfast and don't consume any media at all. And it's crazy the impact that has on my day, because I'm not being 5 times productive in one go, And that's simple living, right? And I actually stumbled across a subreddit, Simple Living, a couple of months back. And it, put into words a lot of these thoughts and this internal battle that I've been having in a really, elegant way. I felt like I found a community of people that were going through the same thing. Some people in that community, they actually don't have any ambition at all, and they just feel alienated because they live in this world that values production, and some of them, they're just okay with going to work and coming home and just hanging out. and that's their life. And they're empowering each other to just hang out. And that's just so amazing to me, you know, from somebody that actually is trying to be productive all the time. It's allowed me to take away some of that anxiety of you need to be producing all the time and find more of a balance between, no, you don't have to be producing all the time. You know, and this is what's wrong with some of these, you know, productivity YouTubers. And I love a lot of them and I watch a lot of them, you know. And when you want to be productive, a lot of the information that they have is really valuable. But you do have to actually take a step back and realize, do I need to be productive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for my entire life, you know? Because those videos can be helpful for you in the times that you do want to be productive. But as long as you know that you don't have to do that, you know, because you live in this world that does value being productive, right? And you might not feel like that's for you. And that's okay. Obviously, you have to create some sort of value for other people so that you can get enough money to put a roof over your head and eat food every day, you know? But coming from somebody that's in the middle, where I do like being productive and I find fulfillment in that, and I do like creating value for others, but I do like doing it also for me, first and foremost. And that's been a whole other battle in itself. You know, who are you doing this for? Someone that always felt guilty about not producing. Having found this community and having gone through this battle, thanks to this whole crazy year that we've all gone through, it's allowed me to actually take a huge step back and just relax, you know, because you don't have to be producing all the time. And it's okay if you sit back and enjoy a night of TV, you know, but every single podcaster you listen to is like, don't waste time watching TV, never do this, never do that, you'll never be successful. But do any of them ask you if you actually want to be successful? And also, do any of them point out that success is something that's made up and defined by you? You know, there's a lot of traditional success metrics, but what if your success is relaxing as soon as you get home from work? You know, is maybe finding a job that's 3 days per week and you enjoy the 4 days off per week and you live a frugal lifestyle, but you're abundant in time. You're rich in time. You know, I'm not sitting here and telling you what you need to do with your life. Just talking a little bit about my experience over the last year, flirting with simple living and finding more of a balance between the two. And the funniest thing is that the more time I spend just being, you know, not doing something that's going to create value, right? The time that I do actually spend time creating value or producing something or creating art, whether it's for me or for somebody else or a mixture of the two, then that time spent is actually more productive, more healthy, and what I do create is of higher quality and value. You know, and so that's just my experience so far. It's still a relatively new thing to me, but the purpose of this video is just to let you know that the next time you are watching a productivity YouTuber talk about all the things you're doing wrong and all the things you need to be doing, you know, to be successful and how to be more productive, just take it with a grain of salt and, you know, take it in the context of your own life. Take what I'm saying into the context of your own life as well, because it's different for everybody. And you don't have to be productive all the time. Some people are, and some people make $1 million or $1 billion, okay? But is that really what you want? Is that really going to fulfill you? So the next time you feel anxiety or guilt about not producing something of value, because I know there's a lot of you out there, because I have a couple of friends like this as well, just stop and think, what if I just hung out today? And what if I didn't beat myself up about that? So there we have it, creators. This was my take on what productivity YouTubers don't want you to know. And I'll be making a few more videos kind of like this in the future. So if you like this content, consider subscribing and clicking that like button. Maybe leave a comment about how you feel about what I talked about today. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.